Hi, welcome back to Live and Breathe Horses at Centro Equestre La Luz. And today we're going to wrap up our little mini-series about moving with the horse. So we're going to take a look at the canter today, just keeping in mind, we called this the scientific secret. For me, that's the golden key, which is relaxing the jaw. And it's the breath that turns that key. So that's our number one thing is that nice breath. This is a very useful thing off your horse as well, in all kinds of situations. It can just release, transform things. The breath is changes how we feel. How we feel changes how we breathe. When we're tense, we hold our breath. So if we relax and let the breath flow, we can change how we feel. We can change how we're thinking. So these are very important points to keep in mind with our horse, because all this affects him so much. So for the cantering, I like skipping. So skipping's a great way. I was just saying to Alba, I love how Michael McIntyre says that we should, when we're in a hurry, we should skip to get where we're going rather than shuffle or run or walk fast. Imagine if everybody skipped around the place, what more joyful place the city streets would be. But anyway, I think it kind of replicates the canter movement. So a bit of skipping's a good little warm-up. Also the warm-up exercises we did in the previous parts for the hips and the joints. And there's also various types of balance boards. There's this one which is more of a board with a half circle underneath, and this other one that's a blow-up cushion. I think the boards, I prefer the board. But anyway, these are really good exercises for riding. You can replicate the movement of the canter. It gets your hips going. It gets your knees and your ankles, all your joints moving. It helps you keep your center still and above your ground. And to stay aligned, completely aligned in your body and in balance, because if you're not, you can't stay on the balance board. So they're not expensive things. I would really recommend, and again, it's great for mobility, for flexibility, for everything that we do. So the canter is quite a different movement from the trot, as I'm sure you know. It's a 3-time movement, and it's a bit, so it's 1, 2, 3 and a little jump, a bit like a dolphin. It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's like tango rhythm. So I find that singing can really help. If you're British, then the Nelly the Elephant, what packed is drunk, and that song goes perfectly with the canter. So having people sing that when they're cantering really works. But maybe if you're not, we'll have to think of some other songs that have the right rhythm for the canter. And this I've done more with kids. So if you make them smile and really laugh, that is the best way to connect to the canter, to the horse, to get grounded, get in flow, everything. If you can really, really go into a big belly laugh, it does everything to get your body really centered and in flow. So that's a real fun way to get more together with the canter. People often think, it's more difficult than the trot. It's not really, and it doesn't even really have to be faster. When you get really fast and you go to gallop becomes 4-time, because canter, you have the back leg and the diagonal and then one front leg. So it's the diagonal splits into 2 separate ones. So you've probably noticed when your horse starts to really gallop, it kind of goes down and gets flat. So, canter and gallop and walk being 4-time movements, it's much more flat, because there's only ever 1 foot off the ground at a time, so there isn't so much oomph in there. So practicing the canter, obviously if you're going round in a circle, in the sitting trot one we spoke about taking into account the movement of going forward. If you're going in a circle, you've also got that centrifugal force, whatever it's called, so that if you're in a circle and you're going a bit faster, it's pushing you to the outside. So just adjusting your shoulders and sending yourself looking where you're going can help on the circle. Also, if you have nice places to ride out where you can safely canter. You know, that's the best to start in a straight line. So normally when we're cantering out, we would go in a little bit of elevated or jumping seat, you know, a light seat off the horse's back. And maybe to alternate that with just sitting and flowing. If you've got long straight lines, you can canter. You know, that's maybe also a useful way to practice. And yeah, just remembering also what you're thinking, what you're feeling, that all affects it. The physical limitations of our body, the movement of our horse, and to take into a look at improving our mobility, which is great for everything in life. So yeah, I'm sure I'll think of something else I've forgotten and we'll end up having to do in additions like we did with the last mini-series. But yeah, hopefully that's quite complete. I hope there's been some helpful hints in from you. Please let us know in the comments below. Lovely for you to be here with us today. Thank you very much for joining us, and keep tuning into the light.